I think of Idiocracy. I think of the fact that that sat on the shelf for a year or whatever. That film is so ahead of its time and so funny, and the fact that it could sit on a shelf and have distribution issues.
I know, I never get it. Like, out of all the junk that they get released, how do they pick these kind of offbeat things that they might think are terrible, but like, what's the difference between this and something that really is terrible? Why not just at least give it a chance? And that's kind of the dark side of Hollywood that you kind of come up against, is like the real aversion to something that's different or something that could, potentially really connect with people. And I'll think about, Idiocracy is probably the thing that gets mentioned most to me
is that true?
These days. And, I was reading the paper one day and saw that it was getting released, and it got released on 7 screens and just completely thrown away by the studio.
I guess you gotta, it's
a tough
as
time.
an actor, you gotta divorce yourself from it,
Yeah,
right?
and I really do. I mean, probably too much so, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't. And I think that comes from kind of Bottle Rocket not having done well from the beginning, and then having, to have the studio not into it.
Well, it's a real lesson on, you got to stick to what is true to you.
Yeah.
And then, maybe it's going to take a while for the world to figure it out.
Right. But there were so many ups and downs. Like, it had these kind of famously bad test screenings where people were just streamed out of the theater, showed it down at the Promenade in Santa Monica, to people that were not kind of in the mood for it.
So when you're getting terrible test screenings and people are walking out, do you guys...
And it didn't get into Sundance.
The short got in, but
the short got in, but the full length... It was kind of like 16 minutes of this, well, that's good, but 90 minutes of these guys.